sound the alarm for Ubisoft. This is a crazy, crazy, crazy day. We've been talking about video game layoffs in the industry for the entire year. It's gone all the way up the chain. And it's all because they've been fluffing up their departments with all these woke people, these DEI hires, in fact, whole DEI departments within their HR structures, which has bloated these companies. And none of this stuff actually adds any value to video games, as we're very, very well aware. And Ubisoft's actually been one of the worst companies involved with all of this. I had a whistleblower talk to me, actually share with me some screenshots about some of the stuff they did inside the company. They have like full days where they don't even work, and they just like get indoctrinated with like these they call them lunch and learns, where they buy you lunch and force you to watch like some diversity training seminars. Then you take tests on it. They send multiple emails regularly, asking them to like watch out for diversity. What can they do to be better for DEI? It's crazy. They are not working on video games whatsoever. They're not working on the enjoyment of what gamers want whatsoever. In fact, they loathe gamers, and they view you as stupid. They think you're just going to buy this just because the brand says Star Wars or Assassin's Creed. And it's starting to come back to haunt them already. Now, this is a big, 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 big red flag right here that they're laying off this early. And I'll get into why this is just the tip of the iceberg in just a moment. My name's John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button here. We are covering the hottest cultural content here. And, of course, calling out all of these major corporations for all of their woke agenda that they're putting into everything. We're also making our own content because I believe in creating and not just complaining about things. And so we're trying to make a replacement for Star Wars right here. It's called Aayla Rin, The Hidden Emperor. There's a wonderful graphic novel. If you like the old action-adventure stuff of Star Wars, if you like the fun serial sort of sci-fi that it's based on, like Flash Gordon, this is exactly what we're trying to create here. We're bringing it back to real heroic storytelling without the agenda, and you'll absolutely enjoy this. So check this out in the description below. Support our channel. Support what we got going here, guys. It's already been an incredible success so far. Thank you so much for helping us build our comic book company, and I appreciate you for supporting us. That's in the description below, as I said. All right, so wrong channel. Ahead of the Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows release, Ubisoft lays off 45 employees. And this is interesting. An Ubisoft spokesperson confirmed to Bloomberg that the difficult yet necessary decision was made to align these studios' organizations with their future business and development objectives. What corporate word salad gobbledygook right there. Difficult, necessary decision. Align studios' organizations with their future business and development objectives. That means they're not making money. There's a bunch of superfluous fluff in the company, and they don't need those people. So the layoffs reportedly hit the company's offices in shocking San Francisco and in North Carolina. Now, North Carolina, you might not think is like some sort of woke bastion, but in that kind of Charlotte area where they've got some tech people who all moved out of California to there, it's the same people. It really is, and so you get that exact sort of setup with lower real estate costs. And that's why they open up offices in places like that. So this is what Ubisoft's going through right now. The studio's Red Storm Entertainment was working on Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland. It was scrapped by Ubisoft in May. The studio was originally founded by Clancy and British Royal Navy Captain Doug Littlejohns in 96 and created Rainbow Six in 98. Was acquired by Ubisoft in 2000. They worked on Ghost Recon, Far Cry, Division, Rocksmith, and Assassin's Creed Nexus. Those are all some pretty, heavy-hitting games there. Ubisoft detailed in an earnings press release why they were scrapping The Division Heartland. In line with the increased selectivity of its investments, Ubisoft has decided to stop development on The Division Heartland, has redeployed resources to bigger opportunities such as X-Defiant and Rainbow Six. So basically the little side projects of the brands now, the smaller games that aren't the AAA in the franchises are now getting scrapped. We're going to start seeing this, I believe, with Assassin's Creed as well, because they've really expanded that brand far too much. They've got a bunch of subpar games out there. It's not just Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though that's taking the limelight right now. Very interesting stuff. According to Ubisoft San Francisco, office houses both a development studio and a business office of nearly 500 employees. The studio created South Park Fractured But Whole and is working on Rocksmith Plus and X-Defiant. So even though they're saying that they're focusing on X-Defiant, they're still firing people from X-Defiant in advance. As noted above, these layoffs come ahead of major releases from Ubisoft that the studio is counting on to make a big splash. However, the game's might not be making as big of a splash as investors hope. During a recent earnings call, the CEO was asked by an investor from Bank of America if Ubisoft had planned on delaying Star Wars Outlaws due to negative feedback it was receiving. And he responded, "The game has gone gold." Now, I had to look this up back in the day when I saw this originally. Gold does not mean what you think it is. Now, they're trying to trick some investors who don't know video game language, I think, because when you think of gold, you think of gold record, which means 500,000 copies sold. Well, if there was 500,000 pre-order copies sold, they'd be sitting in a very happy spot right now. So that's not the case. Gone gold just means it's ready for production. That means the game's done, it's going to print. And so they're not going to change anything. They're saying, we are not going to do anything with this. We're just going to go out with it. And that's exactly kind of what they've said with Assassin's Creed, too. They've taken a bunch of criticism from Japanese gamers, from the government of Japan, from other gamers who just say, you know what, we don't want this like blackwashing of our entertainment. Star Wars has the ugly washing of our entertainment. And it's just insulting to people's intelligences when they do this. And it's obviously something that they're trying to push as a DEI agenda. It's something that they are doing, to appease the Sweet Baby Incs of the world, the shakedown companies out there that consult and throw this stuff into games, and at the expense of the fun of the games. It's really insulting to everybody's intelligences. So the date is well confirmed for August 13th. That's, as you mentioned. We'll be showcasing more content of a very high quality, multiple hours that will show the depths of the open world, the key element of the promise to enjoy exploration of the galaxy with multiple planets. So that will bode well for the game in terms of high quality delivery. Now, with this, they've gone out, they've flown out gamers, they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars wining and dining people, taking them to Disneyland from across the world, given them 4 hours of content. They've struck channels that have gone out without their approval. They've gotten these like mediocre reviews, even from like IGN said it was a jack of all trades, master of none, meaning they kind of threw the kitchen sink at this, hoping that people would enjoy everything, and then really didn't do anything well. We've seen some of the gameplay. It looks absolutely ridiculous. We've got instances where this weird, ugly woman backhands a stormtrooper in the back of the helmet, full helmet with her hand, and the stormtrooper like collapses and crumples and falls over. It's so bad. The strong female lead syndrome is strong female lead syndrome, and they've actually like gone out and said that the designs are the way they intended it. This ugly look is intended because she's, quote, meant to be accessible. I mean, I shit you not. So ridiculous. And so they've got that. We've got Star Wars Outlaws. It's not looking good on the sales. We know that, the amount of development that this is actually going to cost is the 200 to 230 million euros range. And it looks like it has to sell about 5 million units in order to do well. That's crazy. Is it going to be more than that? And of course, they immediately say, we can't comment on these numbers you are quoting, but what we have factored in is a strong launch for Star Wars Outlaws. Womp womp. All right. And then with Assassin's Creed, of course, they have a ton invested into this as well. They're refusing to delay it, despite the fact that there's a Japanese petition out to cancel the game because of their fake Black Samurai narrative. It's just insulting. Of course, it's got similar cringy gameplay footage of the Black Samurai with hip-hop music in the background, decapitating Asian men. And we know that there's LGBTQ romances involved in it. It's just so cringy. And these are not going to sell well. And the reason that they're doing these preemptive layoffs to cut costs immediately, and this is what I was getting to at the beginning of the video, is these aren't just going to be total train wrecks for the company. This is all they have coming out in this back half of the year. It's going to show bad financials for the company. It's not going to show a good return on an investment. And they're going to try to cut the fat immediately in order to try to stave off future problems for the company when the investors try to get them to come to Jesus on this. And it's going to actually spur even more layoffs. This is just the beginning. Once these happen, they're going to have to get rid of a lot of the developers who worked on this kind of stuff, a lot of the expensive corporate people who have been pushing the DEI agenda into everything. And they're going to have to do a hard reset of the company. Otherwise, they're going to just lose everything. And that's very possible. So all you have to do as a gamer to make this happen, because I know you want it to happen, is not buy these games. These two games are Ubisoft's entire last 2-3 years of development. They are writing a lot on it, and if you just stay away from it, you can flatten the curve, and of course, we can make things way, way better when these people get replaced in this industry with people who actually focus on making good games again. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to back my Hidden Emperor graphic novel on Kickstarter. It's in the description below. We'll be back soon.